exciting Friday evening. We've got a packed house here today for good reason. This is probably the Division I boys game of the season, pitting the number 1 and number 2 teams in Division I. You've got the undefeated Pinkerton Astros, led by 1,000-point scorer Jackson Marshall, taking on the one-loss Bedford Bulldogs right behind them, featuring the trio of Luke Soden, Aiden O'Connell, and Brady O'Connell. I'm Harry Kozlowski here with Corey Muntentiger. And Corey, had a chance to speak with Coach Marino a little earlier today. We'll play that interview for you in just a few minutes. But this game is really a battle between speed versus size. Yeah,
tale of two styles tonight. You're absolutely right. The Pinkerton Astros come in with a 14-0 record, led by a big squad, of course, by Jackson Marshall, who you just mentioned, 6'8". The rest of their starting five, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", and 6'1". That's a big squad, bigger than anybody the Bedford Bulldogs have faced all year. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, are going to compete with speed. They like the up-tempo game. They like to full-court press. We're going to see how everything plays out in just a few minutes, but it's going to be a heck of a tilt tonight. Crowd is filling in. This place is going to be rocking.
And as I mentioned, we had a chance to speak with the coach earlier today, and this is what he had to say.
We're speaking with Coach Frank Marino of the Bedford boys basketball team. They're riding an 8-game winning streak after wins against Nashua South and Merrimack. Coach, the Merrimack game was a dominant performance, but you had your hands full with the Panthers of Nashua South.
Yeah, we absolutely did. Their combination of tremendous size in the middle and their zone defense threw us for a loop. I kind of expected that, but when you face a zone like that and you don't hit shots early, it makes it a grind, and that's exactly what it was.
And now you're facing an undefeated Pinkerton Academy team. And, when you look at that roster, it's almost like a mirror image of your squad. They are led by 1,000-point scorer Jackson Marshall and backed up by Tyrone and Anthony Chin. Not very different from the trio of Soden, O'Connell, and O'Connell.
Well, yeah, I guess you could look at it that way in terms of a trio for sure. I would love to have some of the size that they have. They're definitely much bigger team than we are. So they get a lot of their points on the inside. Marshall is just a handful. Like you said, he's a 1,000-point scorer, but he's also 6'7", 6'8", and he's a big guy to try and deal with. And Anthony and Ty are equally as good in their own right as guards. Anthony's also about 6'3", and then they've got two other guys in their starting five that are above 6'3", 6'4". So yeah, we got our hands full for sure.
But I think that the advantage that your team has is speed, and it's been a hallmark of your teams all season long. How do you think your speed matches up with somebody like the Astros and the rest of the top teams in Division I?
Yeah, that's definitely a hallmark of our team. I think if you've watched any of our games, and I know you have, we try and get after it and play our game, which makes it, we try and focus on being really fast-paced, play aggressive D, and try and get high percentage shots at the rim, cause some disruption, cause some turnovers, or at least cause some pressure that will wear teams out a bit. So I think that we're definitely one of the faster teams in Division I. I think that's an identity of ours that we're going to continue to roll with, and it's gotten us this far. We're gonna keep focusing on that.
Well, Coach, good luck today against Pinkerton, and good luck going forward into the tournament.
I appreciate it, Harry. Thank you so much.
That's Coach Frank Marino of the Bedford Bulldogs, and pretty much echoing what we said and also what has been said on various websites. Speed versus size is going to be the matchup here tonight at Bedford High Gymnasium.
Pinkerton doesn't have an easy road out either. Of course, they play Trinity next week on the 17th. They have Goffstown and then Merrimack. So a couple of tough games following the Bedford squad. And then Bedford will play Bishop Girton next Friday, followed by Alvern and Salem to close out their regular season schedule. But tonight is the focus. Number 1 and number 2 in the rankings. 14-0 coming to visit 13-1. Bedford High School Gymnasium is about to get loud.
Teams are huddling up, getting ready to announce the starting lineups here momentarily. While we've got a moment, I want to remind you about our next broadcast, Boys Ice Hockey Senior Night at Sullivan Arena Wednesday, February 15th at 7:30 against the Salem Blue Devils. We're going to bring that to you here on Bedford 105.1 and BC TV.
Starting lineups tonight. For first, the visiting Pinkerton Academy Astros, we will have number 3, Anthony Chin, number 4, Tyrone Chin, number 5, Sean Jenkins, number 11, EJ Johnston, and number 32, as you mentioned, 1,000-point scorer Jackson Marshall.
And Jackson has scored 310 points this year. He's had a high game of 41 points, averages 23.8, and the two guards with him, the Chin brothers, Tyrone and Anthony, each are Anthony's averaging 14 points and Tyrone 12.2 points, and both have had high games of 21. So scoring can come from a couple of different places here on the Astro team.
We're going to see a very similar type thing on the Bulldogs side, with scoring coming from multiple angles, of course, led by Luke Soden, who is in the starting lineup, along with Caden Brown, Brady O'Connell, Sean Toscano, and Aiden O'Connell. The aforementioned Luke Soden, averaging nearly 28 points per game, has played all 14 games for the Bulldogs this season. The other two scorers in double digits are cousins Aiden O'Connell and Brady O'Connell. Aiden at 18.2 and Brady at 11.4 points per game. Both teams have those triumvirates that you talked about in the interview with Coach Marino. It's going to be exciting tonight, Harry.
We need to also keep an eye on number 5, Sean Jenkins. He can come up with a big game. He's had a high of 17, although his average is about 6 points per game. So the starters announced now for the Astros. Now the Bulldog starters about to be announced. You should hear a big cheer from the home crowd, although we've got a lot of Astro fans here in the building as well.
Bedford's in their home white uniforms, red trim, black lettering, red numbering. Pinkerton, pretty much the opposite. They're in their visiting red uniforms, white trim, white lettering, white numbering. Bedford High School pep band is in the stands on the far side. Be providing some music throughout. They're on time tonight to play the anthem.
I don't know if you caught the cheers of Luke when his name was announced on the starting lineup.
Sure did. It sounded like a boo, but it was a Luke. They're into the game already. We'll pause for the national anthem and rejoin you for Bedford basketball action. Bedford High School pep band.
And the student section putting the exclamation point on the anthem.
The home of the Dogs, Harry. The home of the Dogs.
Welcome to the Pound. Final instructions from each coach. Huddles break. They head for the midcourt stripe.
8 minutes on the board 3 officials for tonight's game. A little unusual for the Division I games. We've mostly been seeing a 2-man crew, but 3 are in the house tonight. The Zebras are hurting.
And Corey Munster-Tiger will bring you the call. Take it away, Corey.
We will have Aidan O'Connell on the tip. He'll face off against Anthony Chin for the Astros. Final instructions by the referee. They both jump a little too early. 1 bounce, and now it gets up. O'Connell tips it up and out, and that'll be Astros ball. So Pinkerton will start with it near sideline, near the scorer's table.
I'm a little surprised that Jackson Marshall was not taking the center tip.
He's got the height. He may not have the ups. Tyrone Chin now runs off the screen, kicks it back. Jackson Marshall for a long 3, too strong off the backboard.
Oh!
Brady O'Connell looked to get it to Luke Soden quickly in transition. Luke wasn't looking at him.
That's tough.
Turnover Bedford quickly.
Usually Bedford's a little more on the same page than that, but Luke was thinking about getting down court quickly and didn't see the pass.
Tyrone Chin now off to Marshall. Marshall back to Chin. Steal nearly occurs by Caden Brown near midcourt on the cross-court pass, but the Astros recover. Tyrone Chin now to Johnston. His pass into his brother, and he gets fouled. Anthony Chin will pick up a foul. That's going to be on Brady O'Connell, his first, team's first, of course, because we're just over 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, Chin was in a triple team right there. Kind of unfortunate that a foul was called.
Tough one. Brady O'Connell got called for the reach. Backdoor attempt here. Chin gets it up and doesn't fall. Man, that was 3/4 of the way down and just rattles out as Anthony Chin grabbed it up high on the inbound pass. Couldn't quite get it to fall. Geez, I don't know how that came out.
And what happened there under the basket is that Ethan Johnston, E.J. Johnston, number 11 for Pinkerton, was called for a shove. So a foul on the Astros, and Bedford gets the ball.
Bulldogs into their offensive half for the first time tonight. Brady O'Connell dribbles left, push pass to Caden Brown. He spins back into the middle. Now up top, Sean Toscano. Drives, kicks to the corner. Caden Brown, lefty drive. Now Brady O'Connell for 3, too strong. Back rims it, chases down the board, but it falls into the hands of Anthony Chin. He brings it over the timeline and will set up his offense. Tyrone Chin. Now to Jackson Marshall beyond the 3-point line in the corner. Kicks it cross court. Sean Jenkins back underneath the Marshall, and he's just too big under there for Toscano. Gets the lay in.
Yeah, Toscano's got the job of covering Marshall. Got away from him there.
That's a tough cover. He's given up 6 inches at least. Caden Brown now drives the baseline. Woo, gets whacked. No call. Offensive rebound, Aidan O'Connell, and he gets fouled on the putback. And that is on E.J. Johnston. He picks up 2 quick fouls. And Aidan O'Connell will head to the line looking for points 1 and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Caden Brown really took a shot there going to the bucket. I'm surprised the officials did not give him a call there, but I guess the makeup there was Aidan O'Connell picking it up, and he's good from his first free throw. He's got another one coming.
Sure did. That was Jackson Marshall coming over and defending that baseline drive by Caden Brown, and again, no call. Aidan O'Connell makes good on both free throws. 2-2 is your score. This is Jenkins, can't get it to go. Rebounded by O'Connell, and they're into transition as we expected. Aidan O'Connell drives baseline, finds Soden. Now up top, Toscano. He'll drive hard, get the righty lay-in. Nice drive right down the lane. Sean Toscano finishes strongly.
And a great move by Toscano to get the ball away from Marshall, who was coming in for a block. He got that ball behind his head a little bit and got it off the glass.
Sure did. Little English, got it to settle. Jackson Marshall off really far this time. Luke Soden out running. It's whacked. Wow, no call. They'll just say it was out of bounds off the Astros. That was Chin hustling back.
I don't know.
Anthony Chin.
I think some contact was made there.
Ooh, now the officials say that it went off of Soden's leg, so they call it Astros ball. 4-2 is your score. 5:37 to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs lead by 2 in a low-scoring affair so far.
E.J. Johnston's out of the game. It's Parker Bienvenu Cernuda in.
Jenkins dishes low to Jackson Marshall, who gets a lay-in. Brady O'Connell gets a shot blocked. Great help defense by Sean Jenkins for the Astros. And now the Astros are coming back. 4-4 is your score. Tyrone Chin up top, way out by the half-court line. Now it's Anthony Chin. Look down low for Marshall for a second. Now he'll go to the foul line and take a jumper. Marshall gets the offensive board, but was falling out of bounds and just dishes it back in the middle. Now other side, Soden drains a 3. Luke Soden gets on the board, showing his versatility. Now Sean Jenkins back at the other end. Chin swoops in from the opposite side. Great dish by Jenkins. And Anthony Chin is on the board. 7-6 is your score after that three-pointer. And follow-up lay-in by Chin. Aiden O'Connell can't hit a follow-away down on the other end. Now Tyrone Chin will set things up. Dishes to brother Anthony, and now a little weave up top with Bienvenu Cernuda. Jenkins now opposite side, takes the hit, doesn't phase him, and gets it to go. Sean Toscano the other end now for 3. Can't get that one to go. Pass backwards, goes off of Luke Soden's hand. I think Brown was looking for Aiden O'Connell. Soden didn't realize he was right there. 8-7 your score. The Astros lead by a point. Halfway through the first quarter here in Bedford.
Not a lot of pressure in the backcourt. Coach Marino holding back a little bit. He tried it on the last possession. Basket right there by Marshall.
Marshall hits that little turnaround. Brady O'Connell turns it over. And now Tyrone Chin is out in transition. He'll get one to go. And Coach Moreno's seen enough. He calls timeout. 12-7, quick 4 points there.
8-0 run for the Astros.
As the Bulldogs are down by 5, 2 quick baskets, one by Chin, the other by Jackson. And those 4 points turn that 1-point lead into a 5-point lead.
BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are now easier to access at your fingertips than ever before. Pick up the Bedford Community Television app free. Download it on your Apple, iOS, or Android Play Store. Download it and enjoy BCTV programming on demand on your phone anytime you want.
Marshall out quickly. He has 6 points here in the first half of the first quarter. Followed by Anthony Chin with 2, Tyrone Chin with 2, and Sean Jenkins with 2. Bulldogs have a 3 by Luke Soden, a bucket by Sean Toscano, and 2 free throws by Aiden O'Connell. That rounds out their 7 points. Nico Bedoyan has checked in. Looks like the Astros have bounced to a 2-3 zone. Soden tried to make him pay, but misses on the three-pointer.
Yeah, that was a long 3, longer than he's usually taking.
Chin now, other side, gets into the lane, floater, can't get it to go. Defensive rebound, Caden Brown. Luke Soden out quickly in transition. Ooh, that looked like it could have been goaltending. The ball hit off the backboard first, and then Jackson Marshall came in and whacked it again. We're going to get a foul by Sean Jenkins down low on transition. We'll see the replay here. You folks at home are seeing it as well.
I think Coach Marino, he was calling for the goaltend, but the whistle had blown before that play was made.
Luke Soden misses the front end of his free throws. Normally a high percentage free throw shooter. He'll stay at 3 points. 3:08 to go in the first quarter. 12-7 is your score. The Astros lead, make it 12-8 as Soden hits the back end of his 2 free throws. Full court pressure again by the Bulldogs. Anthony Chin settles things down as the Astros get into their half-court offense. He's guarded by Toscano up top. Behind the back dribble. Now tries to get back to his right hand. Little fake. Cut back door. Tyrone Chin on a nice cut as Soden had his head turned. And another easy lay-in for Chin. Soden now looks to get to the hoop, kicks it back out. Sean Toscano drives, pulls it down. Lafferty will pull from 3, too strong. Gets batted out, picked up, and very smart play by Tyrone Chin, chasing down that loose ball. Just flips it behind his back into the oncoming Sean Toscano and gets possession for the Astros.
Yeah, I was going to say, very creative way to ensure that the ball stayed with the Astros by bouncing it off of Toscano. A little behind the back play there.
Quick stoppage in play as we have a shoe tie necessary for Caden Brown. The officials will start things over. Bienvenu Cernuda in to Chin. This is Anthony Chin now near side. Comes off the pick. Little crossover dribble. Gets to the free throw line. Can't get it to go. And I think we're going to get an over the back on Jackson Marshall. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, a little too aggressive to the ball.
Nice move by Chin to get to that elbow. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Jackson Marshall a bit too aggressive coming in.
Yeah, that was a nice fadeaway shot there by Chin. Real pro move.
It rattles out, and Marshall picks up the foul on the loose ball.
You know, it looks like Bedford's going to really rely on their outside shooting. Try to give up the inside.
Mid-range jumper attempted by Soden. That was too strong. The Astros back into the offensive end. Jenkins for 3 near side, and it's good. Sean Jenkins with 5 points now. 17-8. The Astros have pulled away for a 9-point lead. Lafferty will bury to answer. 17-11, big bucket there by Lafferty. Down low, Marshall can't get the bunny to go. Aiden O'Connell getting out in transition, he gets fouled.
And Marshall was looking at the officials like, hey, come on, I got hit here. How about a call?
Tyrone Chin picks up that foul, reaching in on Aiden O'Connell. That's 5 team fouls now for the Astros. Reset here on the far sideline. Marshall's talking to the official. Still no call. Lafferty will inbound. Finds Bedoyan. Hands it back to Lafferty. Kick it across to Bedoyan. He gets into the lane. A little floater after getting whacked on the arm. No call, but the floater goes. 17-13. Bulldogs back to within 4. This is Tyrone Chin now up top. Jenkins looks low for Marshall. He's getting double teamed in the post. Now he's got an easy one and a quick lay-in. 8 points for Marshall now. Great seal by the big man. Had Lafferty on the high side, presented his big mitten out there, and got a great pass. Aiden O'Connell is going to travel. 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The Astros lead 19-13. Bedoyan comes in. Chin to Chin. We got a double dribble. Anthony Chin put it on the floor, bobbled it a little bit, put it back on the floor, and that's a double dribble. Quick substitution here. Quinn Hammer comes in for Jackson Marshall. Going to give the big man a little extra rest in between quarters.
That might open things up underneath for the Bulldogs.
Bedoyan. Quick hedge there by Chin. Far side Soden, long 3, and it's good. 7 now for Soden. Soden so good. Chin now short on the jumper. Under 10 seconds to go. Aiden O'Connell up quick to Luke Soden. In transition, can't get it to go. Tough one there. He could have brought it to within 1, but instead the Astros will take a 3-point lead into the first quarter break. 19-16. The Astros lead by 3. We have high school senior Jack Watson joining us, as he has in the past. Jack, any observations from the first quarter there?
Yeah, Pinkerton is doing a really good job at breaking Bedford's press. They're getting a lot of transition buckets. Bedford's also not capitalizing on a lot of things. They're missing people down the floor that are open, and some of their shots definitely aren't hitting. Some of the mid-ranges and some of the easy bunnies aren't going in. And yeah, Pinkerton's playing a very strong game right now. They're playing a very good defense to a usually high-scoring Bedford team. So, I mean, we knew it would be close, but yeah, this is a great start to the game for sure.
The Pinkerton Astros have taken advantage of Marshall's size on a couple of different occasions. They've gotten him isolated in the post, and again, we talked about that seal specifically on Lafferty on his last bucket. Marshall has 8 points, countered by Luke Soden's 7 points on the other side. It's what we expected. Big and strong versus smaller and speedy. The margin is 3 right now. Harry, any observations by you?
Well, Bedford's going to live and die by that outside shot. They really need to hit more of those threes and more of those mid-range jumpers, or at least, you know, try to make some hay when Marshall's on the bench underneath. Quick scoring update here. Nico Bedoyan with 2, Soden with 7, Dylan Lafferty 3, Sean Toscano 2, Aiden O'Connell with 2.
The Bulldogs have it in their offensive end. Kazajanski, who has checked in, dishes back up to Soden. Lafferty's running the baseline. Kicks it back up top to Brady O'Connell. Lafferty, corner 3. Too strong. Rebound, Kazajanski. Quick putback. And Kazajanski will pull the Bulldogs to within 1. 19-18 is the score. Hammer almost turns it over. They get it back to Tyrone Chin. He looks for help. Kick near side now to Jenkins. Back up top, Bienvenu Cernudo. Crossover dribble. Jenkins now down to Hammer. Hammer gets into the middle of the lane. Back to Chin. He hangs, can't get it to go. His tap won't go. And it's batted out of bounds by Dylan Lafferty.
Lafferty was the last one to touch that, and he's got to be a little careful there because he was going over the back of Chin. Lucky he didn't get a call there.
Sure was, and this is exactly where we see that size difference being a challenge for the Bulldogs in the defensive end. Chin gets an up fake, kicks it back to his brother up top, gets to the elbow, got discouraged, but he kicks it over to Sean Jenkins, who hits about a 14 or 15 foot jumper. Jenkins with 7 now. Aiden O'Connell turns it over down the other end. Good steal by Bienvenu Cernuda. They kick it all the way back up top. Tyrone Chin drives hard lefty, kicks it back to Jenkins, now up top to Chin. Coach Chase calling out the play Florida. It's like 1-3-1 to start. See where they go with this. Little weave up top for the Astros. Bienvenu Cernuda, ball handles. Down low to Anthony Chin. Cross-court pass to Jenkins. Dishes into the middle for Tyrone Chin, who hits a little turnaround in the lane. 6 points now for Tyrone Chin. 23-18 is your score. Just under 6 minutes to go in the half. Kazajanski will pull from 3, way too strong. Lafferty gets the offensive board. Can't get that to go, but the ball goes out of bounds off of Tyrone Chin, so the Bulldogs will get another shot. Toscano will check in for Aiden O'Connell.
Looks like Jackson Marshall checks in as well. And number 15, Quinn Hammer, comes out.
And now Caden Brown checks in for Dylan Lafferty. Bulldogs inbound the ball. Kazajanski looks, kicks it back. Brady O'Connell, good drive into the middle, can't get the finger roll to go. Marshall comes away with the rebound. 23-18 is your score. The Astros lead by 5. 5.5 to go in the first half.
Very frustrating that they missed those layups. I think they're expecting to be hit and come in a little stronger when the hit doesn't come.
Three-pointer here is missed by Chin. Looked like an offensive foul that got missed. Caden Brown down low on the break. He gets an easy deuce. 23-20.
Points in transition. Bedford's going to need them.
Sure will. Bienvenu Cernuda breaks the press. Chin on the opposite side. He gets fouled on the layup attempt. Toscano will pick up a foul. Only the second team foul by the Bulldogs. They've been playing solid defense without fouling. But this time they'll send Anthony Chin to the line for 2 free throws. Absolutely right. You got Caden Brown, Harry, out there in the transition opportunity. Got that quick lay-in as the Bulldogs continue to push as frequently as possible, specifically on missed shots. Anthony Chin misses her first free throw. And the same on the second. 23-20, the score will stay. Luke Soden, a little hesitation, got whacked on the jumper. Slow whistle, but Tyrone Chin picks up his second. Luke Soden goes back to the line.
You know, that's one way Bedford could get back into this game is by racking up the fouls on the Astros, drawing some fouls when they shoot. Ooh, that almost went out.
Used all of it there. And Luke Soden's first does fall down. 21-23. Bulldogs trail by 2. The second one is good. 3 of 4 from the line now is Luke Soden. He has 9 points. Marshall, quick pass down low to Jenkins, blocked from behind. Wow, great hustle play by Caden Brown. A lot of ball. Looked like he might have got some hand too, but no call. Simply out of bounds.
Sean Jenkins was taking his sweet time, and he was really all alone under there. Caden Brown came out of nowhere to make that block.
Great hustle play by the senior guard. Down low. Wow, took a bust that time. Little pivot, changed his pivot foot, but Marshall will get another 2. He's got 10. 25-22. Soden gets stripped on the way to the hoop. Wow. He got fouled twice. Kazajansky found the ball. Marshall took a big swipe at him, and that's who will get the foul. He also took a good hit down low. I believe it was Jenkins who stepped in to try to take the foul. No, I'm sorry. That was Anthony Chin, as we saw on the replay. But Austin Kazajansky will go to the line for 2.
So 2 fouls on Jackson, 2 fouls on E.J. Johnston, 2 fouls on Tyrone Chin. They're in the bonus, Bedford is. 17 fouls on the Astros.
Kazajansky good on the first.
But, you know, here we are, you know, halfway through the second, and the Astros are racking up the fouls here. Could affect them in the second half.
Well, it also affect them throughout the rest of this half, as you mentioned, the Astros have 17 fouls. The Bulldogs will be shooting in the bonus for the rest of the half. 4:26 to go in that first half.
Sean Toscano comes out, and Aiden O'Connell goes in for him. Waiting for, I'm not sure what we're waiting for.
Seemed like there was some moisture, probably some sweat on the ground underneath the basket. The players trying to make sure there aren't any risks of slippage underneath the Bedford offensive hoop. Kazajansky makes good on the second. He has 4. Tyrone Chin now for the Astros. It's a 1-point game, 25-24. The Bulldogs trail by 1. Chin keeps his dribble alive, back out up top. Drives righty, kicks it back out top. Now gets it back, he drives baseline. Can't find anybody down low, now finds his guard, Bienvenu Cernuda, who will calm things down. Kick it cross court. Kazajansky stepped into the passing lane, but couldn't quite come away with it.
Great anticipation, couldn't get his whole hand on the ball.
Sure was, that's that quickness again. Bulldogs bounce into a 2-3 zone. Chin, back to Chin, up top. Bienvenu Cernuda will settle things down. Far side to Tyrone Chin.
Have you noticed how methodical the Astros are on offense? Long possessions.
They are very patient, looking for good shots. And they find a cutter, but Caden Brown steps in and steals it along the baseline. They try to get into transition. Brady O'Connell,
he got hit.
That ball around a bit. Aiden O'Connell with the offensive board finally gets it to go. 4 points for Aidan O'Connell, and the Bedford Bulldogs have regained the lead, 26-25.
Boy, the officials are really swallowing their whistles here. A couple of pretty strong hits there on the Astros. Could have been called a couple of times in that possession for Bedford.
Jenkins now for the Astros, gets it into the middle. Anthony Chin spins around. Ball got hit out of his hands. Strong move, gets the bucket, and gets whacked. Aidan O'Connell will pick up that foul. Anthony Chin now with 4 points, looking for a natural three-point play. It was 0 for 2 on his first trip to the line. We'll see if he can get the bucket here.
Yeah, I wanted to mention something. The Bedford defense has been excellent. Go ahead. Chin made that free throw. Anyway, what I was going to say is that they had a tendency to leave the backdoor man available, and I think this time Caden Brown was anticipating that play with Marshall and was able to step in the way of that pass.
Great team defense there as they were in that 2-3 zone. He came in from that weak side. Aidan O'Connell now open for three, too strong. Offensive board fought for by Brady O'Connell, but Jackson Marshall's just too big. Tyrone Chin back up top. Anthony Chin will take a long three. No good. Rebound Caden Brown. Quickly to Brady O'Connell. To the corner for Luke Soden for three. Too strong. Aidan O'Connell with the offensive board and the putback. 28-28. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And a turnover here by the Astros. Soden in transition. Euro step, gets it back, and gets the lay-in. Beautiful move by Luke Soden. Coach Chase will take a timeout. As Luke Soden joins Jackson Marshall in double digits, he now has 11. And the Bulldogs have a 2-point lead.
It's easy to listen to Bedford 105.1. Just online, just go to wbnh.bedfordnh.org to find our stream link. You can also find the stream on phone apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, Radio Garden as well. And if you've got an Alexa device at home, just say, Alexa, play Bedford 105.1, and you'll hear the station.
The Bedford JV team was victorious here this evening. They took home victory 72-57 over the visiting Astros. Yeah. Solid performance by the JV squad.
We got to see a lot of that game while we were setting up our broadcast here, and the Bedford JV definitely had the upper hand in that contest. Don't know how the freshmen did. That was a 4 o'clock game. And it's also worth noting, today is also a food drive for the Bedford Food Pantry. The teams are encouraging folks to bring non-perishable food items to the gym. And I think it's going to continue for at least over the weekend, too. So there's still time to donate to the Bedford Food Pantry through Bedford High School's drive.
You can find more information about the Food Pantry food drive at bedfordnhfoodpantry.org. 2:01 to go in the first half. The Bulldogs lead by 2, 30-28. Tyrone Chin into the front court. Passes to Tyler Herland, making his first appearance of the game. Now Anthony Chin. He's guarded by Caden Brown. Kick up top to Tyrone Chin. Now to Sean Jenkins. Far side to Herland. He'll pull from three and bury it. Tyler Herland comes off the bench, comes up with a big three-pointer. Brady O'Connell looks for Caden Brown, way too strong. Brady O'Connell with the offensive board and put back.
His first 2 points of the game.
32-31. Looking to cause turnovers here, and now they get it. Lafferty in the transition. Anthony Chin will pick up a foul, and Lafferty will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Bulldogs with a 1-point lead, 1:14 to go in the half. Lafferty to the line in the bonus situation. Probably a smart foul if they weren't in the bonus by Anthony Chin, but this foul puts Lafferty on the line. Let's see if Lafferty can make him pay for that. His first is good.
That's 4 points for Dylan Lafferty.
buried a big three earlier in the game, and now hits his first of the 1-and-1 and earns the second. Brady O'Connell checks out for Nico Bedoyan. Lafferty's second is a bit strong, but gets the shooter's touch as it does fall. He has 5 points now. Bulldog lead is 3, 34-31. Tyrone Chin drives hard, gets in, and Bedoyan's going to pick up a foul. A little size differential there.
I thought Bedoyan had a lot of ball on that one.
Seemed like he did, but that far side official made the call, trailing the play. Apparently felt that Bedoyan got more arm than ball. So Tyrone Chin will go to the line for 2. Front end is no good. Quinn Hammer checks back in for Jackson Marshall, giving him a spell in this last minute of the half. Bienvenu Cernuda looks like he will check in for the shooter Tyrone Chin, if possible. Second is off as well. Bedoyan gets the rebound. Far side. 2 people run at Soden. His jumper's no good. Offensive rebound. Can't get it to go as Aiden O'Connell brings it down. Now kicks it back out top. Bedoyan fakes the 3. Back out to Dylan Lafferty, and they'll settle things down. 40 seconds to go. Luke Soden from the corner. Can't get it to go. 35 seconds to go. Tyrone Chin gets down into the middle of the lane and well short on his little floater in the lane. Almost gets the steal there.
Bedoyan, Johnny on the spot to get that loose ball, and it looks like Aiden O'Connell's having some trouble.
He rode his ankle there in transition, chasing down that loose ball. So he'll come out quickly. Toscano will check in. I believe that was just a quick ankle roll. Doesn't look to be too badly injured, but he'll take a seat. 23 seconds to go. The Bulldogs lead 35-31 as they look to close out the first half. Pinkerton Astros are in a 2-3 zone. Bedoyan, 10 seconds to go now. Soden up top. Quickly gets double teamed, gets to the elbow just inside the free throw line. Jumper won't go. Tipped away. Caden Brown gets it to go. Scrambled for that loose ball and got the ball back in his possession. Kissed it off the glass and pushes the Bulldogs out to a 5-point lead at halftime, 36-31.
You know, we're starting to see the Bulldogs winning the offensive boards a little bit underneath. That's something that you would think would have been a strength for the Astros, but with Marshall on the bench, Bedford's getting second and third chance shots here.
Absolutely.
On the offensive board, which is terrific.
Great hustle by Nico Bedoyan, who got a hand in there, tipped that offensive rebound out and away. Caden Brown was Johnny on the spot, kissed it off the glass, and again pushes that lead to 5 points. Jack Watson again here with us tonight. Any observations from you in that second quarter of play?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great game overall for both teams. Both teams playing great defensively. Both teams are liking to switch their looks midway through the play. Bedford earlier was in kind of a 2-3 and then switched to a 1-3-1 and switched back to man towards the end. And then Pinkerton kind of switched from man to zone. They were changing up looks at each other. But I mean, both teams are generating great plays and great looks. They're all making basketball plays. Luke Soden's playing very well, using his body to up fake and drive by to get the mid-range shot or to dish it out. And yeah, I mean, both teams are playing incredible, high intensity. This is a great game. We expected it, but yeah, it's a great game.
Nice observation there as the Astros seem to be trying to discourage that three-point shot by Luke Soden. We saw a couple of times down the stretch where those defenders are running at him, discouraging that three-point shot, little up fake, and now he needs to bury that mid-range jumper there. Quick scoring update. Luke Soden leads all scorers with 11. Aiden O'Connell with 6. Austin Kazajanski with 4. Caden Brown with 4. Dylan Lafferty with 5, and then 2 points apiece for Sean Toscano, Nico Bedoyan, and Brady O'Connell. That rounds out their 36. Harry, how about on the Astros side?
I was going to ask you if you could do it, because I think I might have lost track of the scoring on the Astros side.
Okay.
So I need to get back on track here. Go ahead.
I have Jackson Marshall with 10, Sean Jenkins with 7, Tyrone Chin with 6, Anthony Chin with 5, and then a lone three-pointer by Tyler Herlin makes out their 31 points.
So we'll take a little break here, send things back on the radio side for a couple of tunes. Be back in about 8 minutes for second half action. After 2 quarters, Bedford leads 36-31. You're watching and listening to Bedford boys basketball on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. Welcome back to Bedford High Gymnasium for second half action between the Pinkerton Astros and Bedford Bulldogs. Bulldogs lead 36-31 in an exciting contest played before a capacity crowd here at Bedford High Gym.
Bulldogs trailed by 3 after 1 period, 19-16, but went on a run. They outscored the Astros 20-12 in that second quarter, and they extended their lead out to 5 points at halftime, 36-31. Led by Luke Soden. He has 11 points at halftime. 6 points by Aiden O'Connell. A lot of cleanup down low. 5 points by Dylan Lafferty. 4 points by Austin Kazajanski and Caden Brown. 2 points apiece for Brady O'Connell, Nico Bedoyan, and Sean Toscano.
Now the ladies are playing in Derry at Pinkerton Academy tonight, same time as the boys. I wonder if we have an update on that game.
Scoring update on the Astros side, Jackson Marshall has 10. Sean Jenkins with 7, Tyrone Chin 6, Anthony Chin 5, and Tyler Herlin that lone 3. We'll see if we can get that girls score. I don't see any updates so far as we get ready to start the second half.
We'll try to get that score for you as quickly as we can.
Some AC/DC, Thunderstruck, getting the crowd excited as we head into the third quarter. The teams are ready, 8 minutes back on the scoreboard. And Tyrone Chin is ready to inbound. Quickly down to Jackson Marshall. He draws the double team just as quickly. Tries to get to the rim and does get fouled. I believe Soden will pick that one up. No, that's going to be on Sean Toscano, his second. So quick foul here in the second half, just 8 seconds into the third quarter. Jackson Marshall will head to the line. Front end is no good. Rattles in and out. A little too strong, hitting the back rim, coming back and hitting the front rim before it went out to the right. And the second one is off as well. Empty from the line. Brady O'Connell quickly into the front court. 3-pointer by Luke Soden, too strong. Now he steals a quick basket here, but he looks like he tweaked his ankle. I think he stepped on somebody's foot over there, and the crowd is quickly hushed. He looks like he's going to walk it off.
But what an anticipation play there by Soden. Jumping in between the two players, stealing it from him, putting it up the quick bucket.
Heads up play there by the junior, getting that easy bucket.
And that's going to be the difference for the Bulldogs tonight, is to get those points off of turnovers, off of mistakes.
Down low to Marshall, and he gets an easy one. That's too easy, as Sean Toscano is trying to front him, giving up about 6 inches. Just not big enough, and the Bulldogs were not quick enough with the weak side help. Luke Soden quickly around Marshall and gets a deuce on the other end.
Boy, it's kind of amazing. A lane really opened up for him. Between the tall trees, he was able to find his way to the bucket.
Same play here by the Bulldogs. Caden Brown was heads up this time as he came from the backside. Caden Brown had an outstanding first half. Some significant defensive plays. That block from behind, the garbage basket right there at the end. Came up big in some crucial situations. Astros have it rim out there by Chin, but Jenkins will get the garbage to go. 9 points now for Jenkins, well over his average. Brady O'Connell found himself open, didn't have his balance, so couldn't pull the trigger. Ball batted away. Ooh, wow, that looked like it went off of E.J. Johnston, but the official thought Caden Brown tipped it out. Astros ball. 40-35 is your score. The Bulldogs hold a 5-point lead. 90 seconds into the second half here. Tyrone Chin gives it to Marshall. Near the elbow, just outside. Back to Anthony Chin. Looks like he dragged a pivot foot there, gets away with it. Up top now, Tyrone Chin. Back to Anthony Chin. He drives righty. Great defense by Caden Brown. They get it down low to Marshall. It gets tipsed away.
Oh, come on. Now that looked like it went off of Marshall's hands.
So one of the Bulldogs swiped at. I believe they got a tip on it. And Kazajanski's now going to check in for Soden. They want to make sure his ankle's okay. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. 5-point lead for the Bulldogs, 40-35. Tipped here by Sean Toscano. He goes down hard. Big, strong move by Anthony Chin. He has 7 now. The lead is 3. 40-37, the Bulldogs up. Aiden O'Connell cutting through the middle, gets it to go. Nice little touch by Aiden. Quick pass from Brady O'Connell. No luck of the Irish needed. Looking to post up down low. Offensive foul, wow. I'm surprised at that call, but that's the third on Tyrone Chin. He was holding Brady O'Connell, trying to get that low post position, and just grabbed a little too much. Brady O'Connell trying to use his speed and quickness to get around. Tyrone Chin was forced to hold. So 3 fouls now on Tyrone Chin. We'll have to watch that. Brady O'Connell pulls from 3, no good. Aiden O'Connell, great scoop and score on the backside. Crashed the weak side boards. Gets the offensive putback.
Yeah, he caught the Astros napping there on the defensive board.
44-37. Jackson Marshall almost turns it over. Backdoor gets an easy lay-in on a deflection. Aiden O'Connell was there.
Yeah, that was a
tipped
gift.
it away, and unfortunately it went right into the hands of Jackson Marshall. Soden hesitates, gets to the rim, can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, and he'll go to the line.
I think it's Marshall's going to get that call. We'll see.
That is Marshall, and that's his third. Smart play by Soden. He felt like he was wrapped up, just jumped up towards the hoop to draw the foul, and got the whistle.
So Tyrone Chin and Jackson Marshall both with three fouls each. Getting into the danger zone here.
Luke Soden hits the front end a little bit short, but gets the friendly roll. 45-39. Soden takes his time and a deep breath and buries the second. He has 17. 4:40 to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs lead 46-39. They look for Marshall in the high post. Can't quite get it there. This is Anthony Chin now. Great defense by Caden Brown. Staying right with him, moving his feet, and stirring up the crowd at the same time. Now Tyrone Chin gets down the lane and gets the lay-in. 8 points now for Tyrone Chin.
That was a really beautiful play there.
Heads up steal here by Sean Jenkins. Kicks it into the middle. Ooh, wow, wow. We're going to get a block call. And an and one. Wow. Yikes. Let's look at the replay on that. Because it looked to me like Anthony Chin took some extra steps there right through the lane. Coach Marino's going to call timeout. People all excited on both ends of the court. They will count it. Basket is good. And Anthony Chin will go to the line for the potential three-point play. Coach Marino trying to make his case to the far side official. I don't blame him, as that looked incredibly awkward on the footwork with Anthony Chin.
Quick program note, Bedford boys hockey coming up on BCTV and Bedford 105.1. That's Wednesday, February 15th. It's going to be senior night against the Salem Blue Devils, 7:30 face-off there. And then a huge doubleheader a week from tonight right here at Bedford High Gym. The girls and the boys taking on Bishop Girton, their arch rivals. That's going to be a great contest. Girls start at 6:30, boys at 8 p.m. We're going to have both games for you here on BCTV and Bedford 105.1.
Just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 46-43 is the Bedford lead. Anthony Chin to the line to try to make good on the N1. Free throw is off to the left-hand side. Aiden O'Connell comes away with the rebound.
You know, they haven't been hitting very many free throws. I'll have to check the actual numbers here, but I think they're below 500 from the free throws.
Aiden O'Connell, strong move with the left. Gets the lay-in to go, 48-43. Tyrone Chin kicks it back up top. Sean Jenkins now outside of three-point line. Good backdoor cut. Now Jackson Marshall will pull from three from the corner. Can't get it to go. Caden Brown with the defensive board. Ahead quickly to Aiden O'Connell. Nico Bedoyan, looked like he traveled. Got away with it. Corner three from Soden. Buried it. Takes a three and makes a three. It's 51-43. And what could have been a two-point game after Tyrone Chin was on the line has now blossomed to 8. Foul on the floor on the other end. Anthony Chin looking to spin away. Nico Bedoyan picks up his second.
Yeah, I've got to hand it to the Bulldogs. Their defense has been fantastic in this game.
Oh, tough one there.
Except there.
Bulldogs were double and triple teaming Jackson Marshall. And Anthony Chin found some daylight. Soden, wow, gets it to go. Unbelievable bounce there as Soden's three-pointer was strong. It bounced about 2 feet above the rim and then finally fell through. This is Tyrone Chin's attempt now. Gets stuck in the basket. We're going to get an alternate possession. And the Bulldogs get the ball. 54-45. And things are getting exciting. Again, when it's like this, I always have to say, Jack Edwards hits it on the head. Harry, how's your entertainment factor?
Pretty high.
Caden Brown gets doubled in the far corner. Nico Bedoyan kicks back up top. Aiden O'Connell for a three, can't get it to go. Soden battles for the jump, and it's a jump ball. Defensive rebound came down. Jackson Marshall. Again, Soden got a hand in and earns the jump. 2:27 to go in the third quarter. The Bulldogs lead by 9, 54-45.
Yeah, I had a chance to check those free throw numbers. They've only made 1 of 8, the Astros have.
Tough shooting there for the Pinkerton Astros. Good dish there. Stolen by Sean Toscano. Now up quick to Luke Soden in transition. He gets fouled on his way to the basket. And again, the Bulldogs keeping things up pace. That's Anthony Chin's second foul. Third on the team, and Soden will go back to the line. Just the speed and quickness of Luke Soden getting out into these fast break type situations is putting so much pressure on the Astro defense. They just don't have the speed to stay up with him. He's found himself open, streaking down the lane, filling the lane, both sides, getting those passes from whoever's out dishing. He hits both free throws and now has 25 points. Tyrone Chin looks to break the press. Dishes it back to his brother Anthony. Jackson Marshall in three-point land now. Down low, Tyrone Chin. Couple of bounces, kicks it to the corner. E.J. Johnston's three-pointer just rims out. Bedoyan now hustles ahead. Aiden O'Connell kicks it back, far side. Caden Brown sees it go right through his fingertips.
Tough break there.
Yeah, Aiden O'Connell said to Coach Marino, look, I got into the lane. I should have shot that. My bad. You get 2 feet in the paint. You want to look to go strong to the hoop.
Talking about free throws, just counted up the numbers for Bedford, 12 of 13.
A lone miss coming from Luke Soden early on. He is 7 of 8 anyway.
But that's a big difference here in this game. You know, if
sure is.
If the Astros hit a few more of their free throws, they'd be a lot closer than they are now. They're down by 9.
Stoppage in play now for Anthony Chin. I believe he's got blood either on his arm or coming from his mouth. Trying to get things sorted out on the Astros bench. 1:43 remaining here in the third quarter. Coach Chase trying to get Anthony Chin mixed up here. Patch him back up, stick him in. It looked like it might have been a tooth or something from his mouth where he was dabbing some blood away. 56-45, the Bulldog lead is 11 with 1:43 to go in the third. They are in a 2-3 zone defense now, paying a lot of attention down to Jackson Marshall. Tyrone Chin, cross-court pass. This is Jenkins. They get it to Marshall in the high post. Kick it back up top. Chin now down low to Anthony Chin. Can't get the finger roll to go. Lafferty gets it batted away. Jackson Marshall will pull from 3, no good. Offensive rebound, Tyrone Chin, and he gets the easy putback. Tyrone Chin has 10 now. Just over a minute to play in the third quarter. Bulldogs lead is 9. Aiden O'Connell puts it back to 11. Strong drive down the lefty lane. Got the finger roll to go off the glass. Everybody forgets about Tyrone Chin here, and he gets one off the glass. 12 points for Tyrone Chin. Soden, little hezzy, back to Lafferty. Tried to cut through. Lafferty kicks it back to Caden Brown. Kicks to Luke Soden. 3-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound. Wow, high up was Aiden O'Connell. Great hustle by the Bulldogs. Gets another look at it. And Sean Toscano buries the 3. They push it out to a 12-point lead, 61-49. 5 points for Toscano. Under 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Big play there by Toscano. Set up by the hustle by his teammates. Now Caden Brown comes up with a steal. He gets the easy lay-in. The Bulldogs push it out to a 14-point lead, and the third quarter expires. 63-49. Just listen to it.
That is just insane.
Outstanding plays on back-to-back possessions there. The hustle to keep the ball alive on the offensive end. Toscano putting the exclamation point on that possession with a long-range 3. And then the Caden Brown hustle, which we've seen all night, leads to a fast break lay-in. 63-49 is your score. Jack Watson, Bedford High School senior, any observations?
Bedford's playing unbelievable right now on both ends of the floor. They're playing great defense, crashing the boards. They're making all their outside shots. And overall, I mean, they're just playing great basketball right now. They're really getting into the heads of Pinkerton. And when Jackson Marshall was coming off, he kicked the trash can off. So the whole Pinkerton team is just growing frustration over there. And yeah, a huge quarter from Caden Brown, Luke Soden. Caden Brown playing awesome on both ends of the floor, making baskets and playing unbelievable defense. And Luke Soden is just making a lot of his threes out there.
Yeah, I think that Bedford defense is making a huge difference here. They are just not giving the Pinkerton any room to operate. When they're guarding their zone, you notice that the stop and go from the Tyrone brothers, or from the Chin brothers, I should say, Anthony and Tyrone, they keep trying to shake their defenders off. And they can't, and they just won't bite. Caden Brown and them just will not take the bait on defense.
Caden Brown with 6 points, but excellent hustle plays all throughout the game. Aiden O'Connell goes to the hoop, gets the hoop and the harm. He has 16 now. He'll go to the line for another. And that was E.J. Johnston picking up his third. Bulldogs are on fire. You can feel the energy level emanating from this white-clad team. Free throw is good. And O'Connell has 17.
13 to 14 from the stripe.
14 points by Luke Soden in that third quarter. Back down low to Jackson Marshall. He gets it to go. He has 16 now. Up quick. Toscano will take his time, kick it back out top. Nico Bedoyan.
Oh, he had the shot.
Into the lane. He did, but now Caden Brown will take it right to the basket. 8 points now for Brown. 68-51, the lead is 17. Bulldogs have caught fire here in the third quarter. And now Aiden O'Connell will pick one up, trying to guard Marshall in the post. Only the second for Aiden O'Connell. Again, a tough cover down there. They're having to front him. Trying to get that backside help with the double. They'll bounce into a 2-3 as they inbound the ball under their offensive basket due to the Astros. In quick to Anthony Chin. He goes up strong and gets the bucket. 13 points now for Anthony Chin. 68-53. The Bulldogs lead is 15. Soden, little handoff from Aiden O'Connell. They're daring Brady O'Connell to shoot it. He doesn't. Kicks to the far side. Aiden O'Connell. He'll drive into lane, take a shot. Get the little bump. No call, but he gets the bucket anyway. 19 points for Aiden O'Connell. The lead is back to 17. Nice dish there by Jackson Marshall to the cutting Tyrone Chin. Right down the lane. The Red Sea parted. And Tyrone Chin has 14 points. The Astros take a timeout. They trail by 15 with 6:32 remaining in the game.
Becoming a high school sports official is an easy call. Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the game that we love and do that by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. To learn more about becoming a high school sports official, visit NHIAA.org.
That triumvirate that we talked about at the start of the game for the Astros has been coming through. 16 points for Marshall, 14 for Tyrone Chin, 13 for Anthony Chin. But no match for the combo of Luke Soden with 25 and Aiden O'Connell with 19. Brady O'Connell's been a little bit quiet, just 2 points here tonight, but he has been directing that offense successfully. 70 points on the board for the Bulldogs. They lead by 15.
Kudos to Andrew Fenn, dug up that girls score. It's a final from Derry. Bedford girls 78, Pinkerton 52. Huge win there.
Good win for the Bulldogs there in Derry. Good hustle play here by E.J. Johnston. Gets the possession, takes a timeout though. I'm not sure Coach Chase wanted that timeout, but does earn the Astros a possession. Brady O'Connell got chased down from behind. That ball got tapped out. And eventually a turnover.
So no other details other than the score from Derry, but pretty dominating win there for one of the top teams in Division I over another top team.
That was a 26-point margin. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think so.
78-52, if I remember correctly.
78-52, yeah. So yeah, 26-point win.
The Bedford girls have been rolling this season.
And their next game will be a week from tonight. BG, their nemesis. 6:30 tip-off for that one. We're going to have that for you. Then the boys against BG right after.
Big game for boys and girls that night. But the boys are looking to close out here before they even think about that game. 6:19 to go. They lead by 15. Caden Brown amazingly picks up only his first foul of the game. Little lob into the middle to Jackson Marshall, and he gets fouled on the way to the basket. They're going to call a second one on Caden Brown quickly. And that, if anything, looked like a pretty soft touch foul.
Yeah, again, I thought he had a lot of ball contact there. What do you do now if you're Coach Frank Marino? I mean, finally, that's only the second free throw made there by the Astros. Jackson Marshall making that. You know, they've been making their hay on the fast break and fast transition, fast offense. But you really want to eat some clock at this point. Second shot missed.
I'm not sure I would change much. The Astros come up with an offensive rebound, dug out by the Bulldogs, and now they're on the break. O'Connell from Soden. O'Connell gets fouled on the way to the hoop, and he'll go to the line. Yeah, it's a good question, but I'm not sure I'd change your approach, right? You're having a lot of success in transition, getting fast break points. Don't slow down now. That's exactly what the Astros want you to do.
Well, he's sitting on a 14-point lead with 6:03 to go here. Ooh.
A little strong there on the front end for Brady O'Connell.
Only the second missed free throw of the night for the Bulldogs.
Sean Toscano will check out. Dylan Lafferty in for the Bulldogs. Second one is good for Brady O'Connell. He has 3 points in the game now. And the lead is pushed back to 15. 71-56. Steal here now by O'Connell. Gets it up quickly to Caden Brown. Lay-in is good. And Brown is into double digits. Has to be his high-scoring game of the season. Baseline drive now by Tyrone Chin. Kicks it back out to the brother. Three-pointer, no good. Jackson Marshall. Wow, that was an athletic play by the big man.
Gentle Ben, big paw.
Gentle Ben, big paw is right. Got his hand out there. One-handed rebound and put it back in for the lay-in. All in the same motion. Steal here now by Tyrone Chin. Spin move into the lane. Righty kiss off the glass and it's good. 16 for Tyrone Chin. 5 minutes to go. The lead is 13. Two quick baskets by the Astros. Caden Brown kicks to Brady O'Connell.
No contact there. No call.
They take their time. Luke Soden gets open for three. It's no good. Offensive rebound. I think we're going to have a foul underneath. Wow, no, and Jackson Marshall's the one that picks it up. I thought they were going to call Aiden O'Connell, but Marshall will pick up his fourth foul, and he is not pleased about it. Sixth team foul, fourth on Jackson Marshall.
We'll see. It looks like Marshall's going to stay in the game here. 4:48 to play.
If the Astros have a chance, they're going to need Marshall in. Way up top to Lafferty. Caden Brown now gets the pass, gets a block.
And that's going to be on Anthony Chin.
And now Anthony Chin has three. Good strong move by Caden Brown, forcing the officials to blow it or not blow it. In this case, they do call the foul. And the Astros fans are not very happy about that call. Caden Brown will go to the line. They wipe up some moisture underneath the basket as both players hit the deck. The Bedford students cheering on their athletic director as he was reminding the Astros fans of their requirement for sportsmanship.
Speaking of Gentle Ben, is that Gentle Ben in the student section?
I'm not sure which Gentle Ben you're referring to as Caden Brown misses the front end.
Front row all the way to the right.
Oh, we got a big old bear over there. We got some Halloween costumes. We got a lot of white shirts out there. The girls basketball team has filed into the right side of the student section. They're on their travel red sweats. Caden Brown misses both. The lead stays 13, 73-60. Tyrone Chin gets into the lane, gets a nice floater to go. 18 points for Tyrone Chin. 11-point lead for the Bulldogs. It has dwindled a little bit here in the last minute of game play. Lafferty, dribble handoff to Aiden O'Connell. Spins back away from pressure. Caden Brown across the court. Dylan Lafferty. He'll pick up his dribble, kick it back to Aiden O'Connell. Righty spins back to his left. He's going to get tied up. Alternate possession, points in favor of the Astros as the jump ball was called. Very good defense there by Anthony Chin to create that change of possession. Tyrone Chin down along the baseline. E.J. Johnston can't get it to go. Soden looked like he was whacked on the rebound. No call. Tyrone Chin dishes. Gets E.J. Johnston on the way to the basket. Surprising no call there on that defensive board as Soden got whacked on his way out of traffic. We're going to get Brady O'Connell on the foul, just his second. 17 fouls now for the Bulldogs in the second half, so the Astros are in the bonus, but this is a two-shot foul for Johnston, and he makes good on the front end.
His first point of the game.
10-point lead, 73-63. And now it's 9 as he hits the second. Coach Marino is going to take a timeout as the lead has gone from 17 down to 9. 3:47 to go in this game. I can imagine the Bulldogs will look to try to pick up that 5th foul on Jackson Marshall to get him out of the game.
Yeah, a bit of a drought here for the Bulldogs, an 8-2 run here for the Astros as they are clawing their way back into this game. Don't forget, we've got boys ice hockey for you Wednesday, February 15th against the Salem Blue Devils. That's going to be senior night. 7:30 p.m. face-off on BCTV and Bedford 105.1.
And then a big doubleheader right back here next Friday night as both the girls and the boys will take on Bishop Girton as they visit Bedford High School gym. In a back-to-back doubleheader. The girls, of course, will play at 6:30 and the boys will tip off at 8.
And we'll have both of those games here for you. Radio and TV.
What's your strategy heading down the stretch? You thought about slowing it down.
And I thought they did slow it down a little bit there too, when right up until the ball was taken away.
I thought they did too, and I was a little disappointed. I want to keep them in that high-pace offense, looking to get out on the break, getting those easy buckets. 3:47 to go in the game. Let's see what adjustments are in store here. Full court pressure by the Astros. Bulldogs get it over the timeline. They look to trap, and Soden will go to the line. He took a little bit of a hit, and E.J. Johnston now picks up his 4th foul. Soden will go to the line for a 1-and-1. And now that the Astros have committed 18 fouls, that's got to be part of the strategy too for the Bulldogs. Again, earning easy trips to the line and hopefully getting your high percentage free throw shooters, as Luke Soden is, easy looks at the basket. Front end is good. First point of the 4th quarter for Soden. He has 26 now. Second one is no good. He'll stay at 26, and the Bulldogs will stay with a 10-point lead. 74-64. Jackson Marshall, deep three-pointer, no good. Too strong. Offensive rebound by the shortest guy on the court, Bienvenu Cernuda. The Bulldogs trap in the corner. Tyrone Chin finds his brother. Tough jumper there, and Caden Brown will pick up a foul. They forced a tough shot. That ball was coming off, but Caden Brown challenged a little too strongly. He picks up a foul.
And Austin Kazajanski, ready to enter the game. Coach Frank Marino making a substitution here with 3:14 to go.
Anthony Chin will go to the line for 2. He struggled a bit from the line tonight, but makes the first. He has 14 points now.
Dylan Lafferty comes out.
2 of 5 so far, with the second coming. Lane violation by the Bulldogs, but that's irrelevant as Anthony Chin comes up with 2 big free throws. 15 now for Anthony Chin. Soden dishes to Brown. Near side now, Grady O'Connell. Caden Brown. Luke Soden drives. Kazajanski from 3, and it's good. Big shot there by Kazajanski, who just checked back in, cold off the bench, and buries the 3. Tyrone Chin. And the Astros look to be just aiming for 3-pointers right now. Tyrone Chin gets into the lane. Can't get the floater to go. Ball gets batted around a couple times, and Marshall comes up with the offensive board and gets fouled going back up. That's going to be on Luke Soden, just his second. Marshall will go to the line where he's just 1 for 4. Earns 2 here. The Bedford lead is 11, 77-66. 2:37 to go in the game. Jackson Marshall hits the front end, putting him into 20-point range.
Astros are finding their touch from the free throw line here in the second half.
You're absolutely right, as Marshall buries both. 21 now for him. He checks back out. Probably an offense-defense substitution pattern that we'll see here for Coach Chase, as Marshall stays by the scorer's table. Kazajanski now, as they look to break the press. Soden calmly dribbles over half court. He drives hard, kicks it back to Caden Brown. Now Aiden O'Connell finds the streaking Luke Soden along the baseline, and he lays it in righty off the left side. 28 points for Soden. Just over 2 minutes to go. It's still an 11-point lead. Oh, looks a bit of a travel there by Chin, but he gets away with it. And Coach Chase will take a timeout. 17 now for Anthony Chin. And it's a 9-point lead, 2:04 to go. Everybody in the stands, they're giving the travel, the official's travel signal, but that call did not come. Perhaps Anthony Chin kept his pivot foot down, but many perceived that as a walk. Got the bucket to go, and brings it back to within 9.
Yeah, both the Chin brothers very busy here in the second half.
I have both of them with 12 points on my score sheet in the second half. Jackson Marshall with 11 here in the second half. 21 total for him. 18 for Tyrone Chin and 17 for Anthony Chin. That's matched by Luke Soden leading all scorers with 28. And Aiden O'Connell not too far behind with 19.
So just 2:04 remaining in regulation. And Coach Marino talking strategy here with his team.
Yeah, and this is where you're going to want to keep that ball possession, keep that ball in your strong free throw shooter's hands. You are in the bonus, not double bonus quite yet. Next foul is only 9 team fouls for Pinkerton.
Yeah, Bulldogs actually are at 9 right now too, so the same is true for the Astros, and their free throw shooting has improved remarkably here in the fourth quarter. But the Bulldogs, they just have to hang on to the ball, run some clock, and dare the Astros to foul them, put them on the line. It is a 3-possession game now.
Full court pressure again from the Astros. Luke Soden with the ball. He'll dribble calmly over half court. No double as of yet. Luke Soden across to Grady O'Connell. Now back to Luke Soden. They get it to Aiden O'Connell. Little give and go. Block. Wow, great block by Anthony Chin. Anticipated that. Right-handed layup. Scoop shot by Soden, and Chin was right there to swat it away.
All right, every inbound is a challenge here.
20 seconds off the clock there, as the Bulldogs will look to get 20 more off the clock. Great inbound play. Aiden O'Connell cuts to the hoop and finds the wide open Luke Soden on the backside. Soden gets the bucket and will go to the line for 1. 30 points now for Luke Soden.
And Tyrone Chin picking up his 4th foul. So right now 3 Astros with 4 fouls. 1 with 3.
Soden back to the line, and it makes it a 3-point play. He has 31. 82-70. Jenkins gets the ball down low, gets a quick deuce. Full court pressure now for the Astros. Brady O'Connell gets free. He'll settle things down. Lafferty has Aiden O'Connell wide open under the basket. But before that pass is made, Lafferty is fouled. That was E.J. Johnston. That is number 5 for E.J. Johnston. He'll have to take a seat.
And the Astros are now forced to put the Dogs on the line just to get the ball back. A minute 22 left here. And that is the 10th team foul on the Astros. That puts Bedford in the double bonus.
1:22 to go. 82-72 is the Bedford Bulldog lead. Dylan Lafferty now pushes it out to 11. He has 6 points. With the second to come. Takes the bounce, takes the shot, makes the shot. 7 points now for Lafferty. The lead is 12, 84-72. Jackson Marshall gets caught in the air, finds one chin brother, now out to the other chin brother, and Anthony makes good on a 3. 20 points for Anthony Chin. And these guys just won't go away. The Astros putting up a fight down the stretch here. They're down 9. 1:12 to go. 84-75, the Bulldogs lead.
Oh, I expect them to come out with a lot more pressure on the inbound, try to force a turnover in the backcourt by the Bulldogs. But as we've seen so far, you've got some terrific ball handlers here on the Bulldogs. They're not pressured. They're not phased by that pressure. They have a plan to get that ball into the offensive zone. That's going to force the Astros to put them on the line again. And except for a couple of misses in the second half, they've been solid from the free throw line. You know, it's a 3-possession game right now. Any point makes it a 4-possession game for Bedford.
Absolutely, and the Bulldogs again are doing it smartly. They are getting the ball in Luke Soden's hands. Again, an outstanding free throw shooter. Jackson Marshall is going to take a seat on the bench again, likely an offense-defense substitution here. They don't want to get his 5th foul. They want him available for 3-point shooting and free throw shooting, although he struggled from the line tonight, just 3 for 6. Full court pressure as expected by the Astros. Full court pass here by Soden. Swiped here by Bienvenu Cernuda. That looked like it did go off of Soden's leg, but it does get ruled out of bounds on the Bulldogs.
That's one way to break the press, is just by going for the long bomb.
And it worked here. Again, it looked like it could have been a foul on Bienvenu Cernuda. And instead of calling the foul, the referees simply called out of bounds.
And there's your foul.
There's a foul. Bienvenu Cernuda picks up his first. But again, that is double bonus territory for the Bulldogs, as there are 10 team fouls on the Astros so far. So Aiden O'Connell will go back to the line for 2. Front end is good. He's now in the 20-point range as well. Toscano checks out. Caden Brown checks in. Second one for Aiden O'Connell is good, and he has 21. Bienvenu Cernuda pushing the pace. Looks to get it to Marshall, but he can't. Now on the break, Aiden O'Connell puts the exclamation point on the game. Throws it down lefty on the break, and this place went nuts. And now Soden's going to pick up a foul coming over on the double team, but at this point, it's irrelevant. 13-point lead. Aiden O'Connell fired up after that jam. And this place is going bananas.
You know, I wonder if we'll be seeing these two teams in the NHIAA finals come March down at UNH.
I would imagine that both teams have a very strong possibility of getting there. Front end by Tyrone Chin is no good. He's in the double bonus, so he gets a second.
Well, it would be a highly entertaining contest if that were to happen.
The Bedford faithful are bidding adieu to the Astros as Chin misses the second. And now we have a collision here by the O'Connell brothers. It looked like Aiden O'Connell fell into the knee of Brady O'Connell.
Yeah,
Brady
looks hurt.
is in pain. That is not good for the Bulldogs. Team personnel are over there checking out Brady O'Connell as they are hoping that everything is okay with him. Just 43 seconds remain in this game. The Bulldogs' lead is 13, seemingly insurmountable at this point, as the training staff is attending to Brady O'Connell. Looked like, again, Aiden O'Connell rolled into his lower half. Not quite sure if it was knee or ankle, but Brady O'Connell was in some pain there. Looks like it is his right leg that's affected. Not putting any pressure on it whatsoever. Yeah, it looked like he got rolled into by Aiden O'Connell. Maybe hyperextended it or twisted it in some manner, and he's not comfortable as he comes to the near sideline. We wish the best for Brady O'Connell on an otherwise outstanding night for the Bulldogs. .75 is the score. 13-point lead for the Bulldogs. Just 43 seconds remain here in the game. Herland picked up a foul on the inbound. So Luke Soden is going to the line. He'll have 2 shots. As there is a little bit of confusion here down the stretch, but Luke Soden hits that free throw. He has 32.
Huge night for Luke Soden. And really a big night for the Bulldogs with 90 points. I would not have predicted they would have put a 90 spot on the Astros tonight.
Anthony Chin still going strong. Can't get that to go. Jackson Marshall
I think Jackson's
scrambling.
gonna foul out. Nope.
No, he's not. Luke Soden's going to pick up his 4th foul, hustling for the rebound. And Marshall will go to the line. 36 seconds remain. The lead is 15. Again, some more offense-defense substitutions for Coach Chase, as it looks like Charles Ludden and Tyler Herland will check in. Front end is good for Marshall. 22 for him now. Tyrone Chin will take a seat. Second is well short for Marshall. Soden gets triple teamed and fouled from behind. That looks like it's going to be the 5th foul on big number 32 Marshall, and that is. He has 5, and dejected as he heads for the bench. He will foul out. Strong night for him anyway, though. He has 22 points. The Bedford faithful are giving it to him as they are close to the opposing bench. 14-point lead, and Luke Soden looks to add 2 more free throws. Soden's front end is good. 34 now for Luke Soden. 30 seconds remaining. Coach Marino bringing his troops together. Soden misses the back end, so he'll stay at 34. 3-pointer by Herland is no good. Offensive rebound gets kicked back to him. His second 3-pointer is no good, and Soden comes down with the defensive board. The Astros seem to be conceding at this point, and the Bedford Bulldogs fans are on their feet as Luke Soden dribbles it out. The Bulldogs are going to win by 15, 91-76. As number 2 topples number 1 this evening at Bedford High School Gym.
We thought it was going to be a great game, and it was. Might have even exceeded expectations tonight, where the Bulldogs really put that speed to use today against a really big lineup in the Astros.
Again, led by Luke Soden the whole way, 34 points for the junior forward. Followed somewhat closely by Aidan O'Connell. Strong performance by him, 23 points for Aidan O'Connell. He put the exclamation point on this night with that jam down the stretch, pushing the Bedford lead back out and putting them in a safe range for cruise control on the rest of the way. Jack Watson, any observations as we close out the broadcast?
Yeah, that was an unbelievable game to watch. Both teams playing with intensity the whole game. You know, you like to see Bedford obviously win this game. If you're a Bedford fan, you know, they played all around an unbelievable game. But even, you know, the tough loss for Pinkerton, but they still were in it the whole game. I mean, they were clawing back. They weren't giving up, and you like to see that.
Absolutely. Kudos to the Astros for not giving up. Again, the final margin, 15 points here. Both teams moved to 14-1. And it's going to be fun, the stretch run, and then seeing what happens in the Division I basketball tournament. Thank you very much to the BCTV crew. We had the whole crew here tonight. Bill Jennings, the maestro, running things as the manager and producer of this program. Andrew Fenn on camera. Dale Bird back in the studio doing replays for us. For Jack Watson and Harry Kozlowski, I'm Corey Munster-Tiger. Thanks again for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.